or whatever it is, wherever you are. So I actually thought of something I need to check with the Docker setup here. I might be overriding the tool slot settings. Yep. Oh, actually, it was min active that was the issue. Because I need to investigate what my client does with the you learned all the tools. Alright, now to get the paths, we need a Linux shell. Oh, I'll just in directory. Too many one somethings. Well, that's one life data in one life and game source. I had built the 57 directory and then copied to here and then copied that back, so that should be fine. Who are we on? We're on our main account. Oh, that's right. I was testing ticket server stuff. That's a server setting, right? Actually, I guess that file gets used when running, but I think it's also, well, a version of it gets built in. Okay. We get them all. Do they even have any tools around here? I guess the bow is a tool. And a whole lot of broken items to boot. No, I don't need you. I don't need that. Does it show me the tool message? And there's clicks and stuff, so I guess it doesn't report. Oh, learn. Actually, did we just get so many tools that I didn't have enough space for it? What's the easiest way to test that? $112. Yeah, I might have only allowed for 100 tools. It was nowhere near that when I set this up. So it's got to be some of these 5400 ones. Sorry, so where I should have gone is here. Net, knife, lasso, stakes, shears, broken. Does it do all of the uses? Because that is definitely not enough by itself. Okay, so the bug here is that I need to allocate a bigger array for tool slots. And then I want to see if I can get a list of names. Actually, no, these are all within the what should be the ID range. So like, what's 5148? Oh no, that's a generated one. We're not there yet. STG. Go to show learned tools. I started doing that sometimes. History graph. Is this actually livinglife.h? Num tool sheets. Geez, so if we're already at 100, that's going to be so many things to iterate over. Or maybe I have to make this dynamic. Yeah, so all of the code I was basing this off of was all static stuff. So we'd have to completely change how we interact with all of these things. We wouldn't necessarily have to do constructor stuff because it would just be empty the array. All of our member reference syntax would change. I also did this thing where we treated everything like as an object. So the empty slots were like at the end. So they would like go off and get replaced. So those kind of need to exist. And if it's only, do I have to have a, who's to say there's even a maximum number of unknown tool slots? All right, so let's try to understand the problem a little bit. Let's do a quick change. Should work. But I guess we can make sure it actually... Right, that's the server. That's that update. Oh, you had nothing to do last time. And it's a whole lot of broken items. The spacing is messed up. Maybe I had a minimum spacing on it? So it's not all spread out now. Maybe I made some assumptions about the num tool slots in addition to the actual number. Because those should be actual objects. Where do we draw this? That's draw. We had a function to draw a tool slot. What's I times 723? Slip. Okay, so this is just to give us some of the variation in the background sprite used. So that's the position. So this actually deals with some of the position update code rather than the drawing code per se. Known tool slips plus remaining slots. I might just have to get some numbers out here. All right, well, first token is LR, rest are learned IDs. Not use dummy. So we do have an object record here. What is object? Is it just name? Tap out record, object record, description. Oh, and that was the learned message. If they were use dummy, I might not have as many there. Oh, so okay, so here's the check that failed. We didn't get a known tool slips. Oh no, it's a plus plus. We're doing it there. Yeah, so that shouldn't have overflowed. So this was ID and O description. Alright, I already got the learned message. Stone hatchet, steel axe, fire bow, hot coals. I mean, we had all the Newcomen stuff before. I thought it showed me the number of 52, so that should have still not been enough to overflow it. Yeah, all those like 4,000 pluses were generated. Diesel mining pick, war sword, empty camera net. Yeah, none of these are actually all that new. But I guess I didn't have this I have tool slot numbers. Maybe I'm allocating a lot of extra space for number of tool slots when there's no tool slips. Total tool slots. What do we default that to? Total 2 slots, use 2 slots, remaining slots. I think it's remaining slots what I would be using in the total 2 slots minus used tool slots. Also starts at 0. Oh, are we getting a TS message? He's actually telling us we have more used tool slots than total tool slots. That might be what's actually confusing it. Because I don't think the... Let me have it in place. Remaining slots. And remaining slots is what we... we use there. So remaining slots, that's going to be total... Yeah, so that's going to be a negative number. So I think I need... And I see it went and used his stuff. Because he was so kind to provide it. Well, what you just have to do is make sure that this doesn't do stupid stuff. I think that's the only real problem here. Is that total tool slots can do wonky stuff. That looks more reasonable. All the Newcomen tools. You can't really tell what it is, but you know everything, so it doesn't matter that much. So is that crude carb not any of the new vehicles? All right, so that's that bug. Maybe 300 is actually too many, but we're still at like 50 something. So that fixes that. The other thing we then need to fix is the default for this. So that's the binary default. And let's see, we're not going to need it here. And I guess it's in game source, isn't it? That would be default off in new installations as well. Docker says git status. We are on show learned tools. All right, no conflicts. Master, let me change log right now. I guess maybe I should have a note in README as well. If you have a setting file, you may still need to change it. No, it's README. One, to enable. And then we've also had the patch updates meanwhile. Okay. So we fixed that. Meanwhile, that seems to be good. That seems to be good. We're done with that. I think we're done with that. That patch is outstanding. That has been merged. Yeah, two trials are super moot now. Might want to give that a little bit of testing. All right, so I kind of want to do some reading on the ally gates because I'm not sure how it works. It's like, could I follow myself, make a gate, and then follow the leader, and then would people be able to use it because they're all my allies? Would it get in here? Would it immediately go to the leader? Alright, tutorial, expert waystone, leader priority, special gates that only boss by colored badge. Oh, okay, I definitely haven't seen it. Score 0, car numeral, car, curse names. Yeah, so it's pretty much this one and maybe the next. Set up blocks non-ally. This is object bank. It's pretty much just a flag. So we've got, must be imported from something to, is exiled. Is map spot ally owned? Walk up leadership chain for in-player and see if anyone owns it. Next check is the current player. Find a leader above them who owns it. If it is owned by player and that player is not exiled. No, if this player is not exiled by that. By the owner. And maybe it's exiled checks the leadership chain. There's no leader above us who owns it and doesn't see us at exiles. We're no ally of owner. Okay, so then that would not work. Because it's really a follower gate. Is map spot blocking for player? Any leader, before remove all ownership happens externally, pass property to children. Pass leader inherit own stuff to this new leader now. Before remove all ownership, passes property to children. Right, the gates didn't used to be leader based. Alright, and then there was... This is all living life object bank. So it doesn't have anything to do with functionality. Now, interestingly enough, was there a data change for this? Well, no, it has badge pause. So I guess it is data-based. Okay. Now, did I not see an issue regarding this? Need to wait 5 minutes. Ah. And it walks up your... So if you did get a bad leader and they owned the gate, forming a new hierarchy, you wouldn't be able to go through the gate. So you'd basically have to kill them to have it pass on, or disappear or something. Oh, but you can get, but someone else could construct it by explicitly giving the leader ownership so that everyone would see them as owning it. All right, so that leaves us with the question of why is... and can I do a quick tweak here to make this always, to make the overlay always show up? The hierarchy view has not been showing on the live server. It gets annoying having to mess with multiple accounts. There's hierarchy key. Oh yeah, do the targeting stuff. Is it, because I did do the target player stuff as the most recent change. But where we go to draw this, graph focus object. Oh, I did not really make a function for this, did I? There's a thing that skips our live object. Graph focus object. Oh. Well, maybe it's not able to develop a graph without multiple people. Or that could be the bug. Well, actually, yeah, this is still two people. It would help if they had names. Still do this. Okay, so it is. I'd swear I'd tested this after the first time and it wasn't showing up. So, what do we break? All right, we're going to be working directly on this. All right. STG series. No, actually, this is the top thing. So, what do we need to debug? We need to see. Are we hitting here? We've got, well, release shouldn't be too big of an issue. Shouldn't be. Key is and show hierarchy around. All right, so when we get to here, and then we have an object. That is live game. That's live game. Oh, I never cleaned up this. Key is H. Key not handled by case. We got key down. Show -1. Is it supposed to be negative? Why did it become negative? Maybe because the player detection would get a negative ID. Because, like, if you pick it up, it's a negative. Target ID. But that means our actual player would be getting a negative ID, wouldn't it? Show hierarchy around target. Show player hierarchy. Else target equals get our live object. So which of these are we hitting? So we've got that, we've got a pointer, and we've got the internal value of the target ID. Hit other person ID, we've got target, and we've got target ID. And we've got the default of self, which I think I'm just pressing the button, so it's normally self. Self, okay, 133. Uh-oh. Do we have some memory corruption here? That is a local variable. There's not arrays right by here. This happened before the tool slot thing. So we're inside a function. Uh? I was copying stuff. The player number on my server used to be below a character. The funny thing is that this worked on the main server for a little bit. I wonder if I accidentally changed the value while I was adding the key. Or changed the type. I thought I turned it on to show the hierarchy. But it's actually working. So I think what we take from that is get rid of all that temporary stuff and then fix this bug. Okay, that's what we expected. And it's so weird that that worked for a while. Did I add the key setting? I had a variable for it. Yeah. Didn't actually have it in my settings. So I probably haven't like done the file and everything. But I'm still... I might give that a little more time because of ally gates, but I'm still not sure I need that as a feature. Is there anything else we need to work on? I really don't know what to do about the help screen. It technically comes down to the English file. The English file is loaded from minor gems. I haven't really messed with minor gems so far. That reminds me, I don't think Jason's responded to the PR and minor gems either. That kind of blocks out the all the emotion key help. Well, I guess I had my own help screen for a while. But before it was in game, you always had to look it up to know what they were. So it just kind of puts you back at that same place. So we could go ahead and add that. I updated this. I haven't exported it. Oh, I've never published this. Series, new patch. File. I'm not using you right now. Did I close my main window? I closed my main window. Still don't know what to do about that. Is there anything else bothering me right now? That's a really hard problem. I don't know if I'll ever get to it. That would need a settings file. Displaying head's gonna be another hard problem. And I really don't think there's gonna be space for it. That's the main one. Yeah, and this is the build. No, it's the wrong kind of key. It's count key. Motion keys is a whole bunch of stuff. Player mark key. So we'll take it from H to J. I never did fix the thing where it wasn't showing yourself, or that tweak didn't seem to have an effect. Okay, is the other person still around? Oop. Nope. So I'm doing something else in terms of maybe the function is also excluding self? Oh, no, it's still H. All right, did I change the right settings? I think I've just... That's games. That feels wrong. Hierarchy. Nope, that's still H. Hierarchy key. Uh-oh. That is hierarchy. Hierarchy. I kind of wanted to stay on that page so I could see the highlights. Wait. No, you did EI. There we go. All right, change that back to H. Okay, we're on you. Right, I had that turned off. It didn't work. Highest leader ID equals oh. I'm gonna also be excluding it here. I don't even know if the displaying only heads instead of names would be useful. Because you could have different space layouts then, because it wouldn't be as long. But a lot of people are just going to look alike. So right now, we either draw it or we don't. If we were to be as good as some other things, you'd have completely separate draw states with separate separate fades. That's probably going to be overkill. We've got some other, so he's using doubles for that. All right, so we need to hit you at some reset points. I misspelled that already. No. I guess you need a, well, your target fade is going to be, do we currently have a value or not? Now, right now, I think we do update leadership and we do draw. We don't currently have anything in step. Well, that's doing it in draw. That's using it. That's doing it in draw. Of course, can I even make all of this stuff fade? So if we're drawing it, even though we technically need an object here, oh, taking photo should just completely shut it off. So it's like you're going to be, you've got going up, you've got going down, you've got, so this would be like, well, not equal to null. We have to have a graph focus object. Right now I'm using show hierarchy around as the flag. In order to fade out, you'd have to remember the last one. Well, but I've only got one graph. Even if I could keep track of two things. Well, there's only one hierarchy. If the target changed, you could actually do two things. I need some kind of looper function for that. Let's see, do we depend? I don't think we depend on any other context here. You do depend on a text drawing function, right? Draw leader label. So you're probably another draw label. These functions are so huge. And, okay, this is kind of related to that. It'd be nice to keep that internal. You're a member function, though. Are you a member function? Yeah, you're a member function. A hierarchy graph. Well, nope, get game object. I'm like, do we just look up that object once? But no, we have to be looking up get game object. Oh, you're static. Okay. So once we get live object, which I think that is a member, get our live object, get live object, yeah. Get object. Draw pointer line probably doesn't. Oh, but draw a leader label does. So that must be depending on something, and it's using that. Well, I guess it can be if not equal to -1 and not taking photo, we make the call. And it could be with an object pointer then. To kind of be in parallel, and that would be the call would have the function of getting a subject. All right, and then you're a big old function. Set shift width. All right, you don't like to switch to the same file, so we have to resplit. I think that's what you are. We can change this to be there. Oh, that was an oopsie. What did I call it? I typoed it. As I always do. Actually, I'm not sure. Am I using anything right now? All right, so we don't need that. We do that. Draw. So that should be equivalent functionality. Oopsie, 5013. Okay, I think this is where I got mixed up and did not actually get to deleting my bracket. Okay, that seems to be roughly equivalent. Oh, I might have to pass a fade value in here. Oh, is it actually the other way? Huh. Okay. Well, no wonder I kept misspelling it. So this is functional right now. I think I've got like a leftover fade. Did I not initialize it? Okay. No, that's not it. Okay, so that's all of that. Living life page.h. Okay, I got that one. Then we've got. Actually, was that? Did I get the setting file? Oh, it's not going to be in the H file. Okay, so that one's been fixed, that one's been fixed, that one's been fixed. No, that one is right. I've been getting it wrong so often I swapped it in my head. I guess I don't actually know if I can fade this yet. It probably should be an argument. Well, that's not good. All right, I think text has the ability to fade. That's going to be one of the main things. But draw leader label does not have that argument. Does some of the other label things have that argument? Composite string character name label. No, I never fitted that one either. Does speech have fade? Current speech. Current speech. Maybe that one wasn't instructed as a function. Ah. Draw chalk background string head fade. Oh, it's kind of a global thing. And draw color. So that means I never did fade out for labels. Well, the labels rarely appear and never disappear. Alright, we have to do this and split it again to get the same file. Off-screen sound. Draw chalk background string. I probably have a blot color, but it's just gonna be the hierarchy color. Oh, that actually goes down to leader label, which doesn't have that option right now, which is the main thing. Here, pause. Yeah, it does not have a parameter for fade right now. So actually, you would need one. And we're back to the header file. No, and you. Oh, it actually did deal with the so right now, actually, for where we're calling this, it does have a value, and then it is draw chalk background string. So I don't have a force blot color. Set draw color and speaker badge color. Oh. Did I reassign this somewhere? Oh, yep. Oh, so this probably already supports it. Maybe I left that there as a hook. Or was I expecting to come back to it later? Oh. Another person died. That's where I tried feeding her. Okay, so the names are indeed faded. If it's just set, draw, fade, I might be able to sneak around the line too. Alright, so that takes care of draw leader label. So it's only that and draw pointer line. I guess I didn't really check. That's me. Does it get automatically reset at points? Or maybe set draw color probably doesn't have an alpha, and then that adds the alpha to it. So maybe it really comes down to set draw color would be the thing that would reset it. In which case, draw pointer line, what do you do? Yeah, we're setting a draw color. Oh, and we're already doing some fade on it too. So you will need an argument. Now, this is a function I technically introduced in another patch. Well, this is a little bit of a weird project because I'm not sure it's needed anymore. But, well, I did some other actually necessary patch maintenance earlier. So it's become less of an issue, but there is a hierarchy system in game for, you can have a leader. And the only way that shows up normally, let's see, is you get these little badges if you're wearing clothes. And I do forget to look at that as much as maybe I should. But it's pretty small. You can barely even see the little thing that says I'm the higher leader here. So I've been working on a thing to show that. I'm uncertain if it goes beyond the base game. I haven't been trying to use it lately, so and I'm testing fade right now, which is why it's kind of hard to read. Yeah. Now we did just get a new gate type that interacts with the hierarchy system, so maybe that'll make it more important. But maybe I'll just go back to doing other things on Saturdays. There's actually a number of things I want to do are still related to the game. There's not the actual game client. Well, there's a situation. There's game mechanics that favor people who play the game the way the game wants you to play to get leadership. But you can still walk up and say, I follow you or I follow name. And, or people who plan to abuse leadership could play good for a while in order to go on a killing spree. We had a little bit of that when the leadership system was new, but it hasn't been too big of an issue lately. So basically that was there to try and understand what's going on in those situations, and they just haven't been coming up much. But yeah, you've got matching color, and you've got some it's kind of hard to make out the individual details, especially like if you've got a younger person, the head comes down and covers the badges. So like you can't even see it starting off. Or if you've got a backpack, it might cover it up a little bit. So yeah, I built this, but I haven't had to use it much. But I've kind of got I've got time set aside for client work right now, and I don't have anything else that's really bothering me in that domain. I think I was wondering if you could put character heads next to it, but I think that would take up too much space. So looking at it now, it's not too bad. But if you get a large family, it might still be too much. Or I guess they could overlap a little bit. I just don't know if I can actually pull it out of the drawing routine. All right, so what's our status? All right, we have made changes. STG refresh. That would probably be name labels. Draw line. Okay, it is not a header file. Yeah, it's not a header file. Do we have to pre-declare it at all? No. Just declare it before it's used. All right, so you set... Oh. Oh no, this is just a literal line. Draw pointer line, which is in here. So you are in fade. Oh no, actually stencil is probably one. Arguably, I could just be passing an 0.5 into this. But that's always been an internal detail. It's like how it's presented rather than what's the current fate of our overall thing. All right, quick compile check. I'm not too terribly worried about that as far as actual code goes, or as far as it working. Pretty simple change. Draw pointer line. This would not execute, however, because it has a new argument. And you got a fade argument, which that got past the 0.5. So we should hopefully see that a little bit faded, more faded now. Yeah, that's not sticking out as much. So now that we've got the ability to fade that thing, we can look at what we do with that dynamically, so having it flip on and off. And this came down to U, which was you're just passing a fixed value. I think I might need a multi-level thing here. Because we're going to have to draw it if it's still non-zero fade. We're going to have to keep track of who we were focusing on while we're doing that. I guess we could start with the fade in. That doesn't involve any stuff there. I always misspell this one. All right, and I want to reset that around when this gets reset. I'm not going to necessarily, we could maybe do a incorrect version of this first. In several ways. And then we go ahead and update it here. What else do we do with updating fades? So for example, we'd have 0.2 times frame rate factor. There we go, I'm misspelling it again. It might just be a really fast fade in. And a fast fade in might even work for this. Okay, so yes, that is actually doing a fade. So that's a thing that he uses for other kind of highlights. So yeah, these are only highlights, not like actual object appearances. Turn mouse over self fade rate, delta rate. Oh, I should have a name label fade. Or just a little bit slower. All right, so to be proper about this, we never want to draw it during a photo period. In order to do a fade out, we have to remember who we were focusing on. And right now, this is the only state we keep. That's showing. So this would be... You're where we unset it. I guess if you tap it really fast. Maybe I should do this if we are currently drawing in. Then we tag what we were actually drawing. All right, so this does fade in. That is a hard reset. I don't necessarily want a hard reset. Do we want to be able to show, if we switch, show fading out? Probably unnecessary. This is really kind of a copy. We don't do that. We need was showing. We need for reversal of this logic. Hierarchy fade has gone below 0, set it to 0. So if show, draw it fading in. This is going to be an and. I don't certainly need the parentheses for this. It's not going to be an or. So that will take care of ramping up. That will take care of ramping down. That player died. Let's see, my food is still good. And the only thing we might have a concern about is if we manage to switch really fast. Which, I mean, there's a key press in there, so I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. All right, so that's off. Drawing heads could be a problem. So it's either Draw animation or draw object is maybe only draw animation deals with people. Well, we do deal with like head index and stuff. Now, is that any head thing or like the head itself? A sprite is only a single graphic, I think. And then objects are compound. Because if it wasn't, what's a sprite then? Sprite handle, tag, blend, flip, mask, total width and height, hit map. Yeah, I don't see anything in here that would have multiple images. So we need all sprites that are somehow part of the head, and I think I've seen something that actually did like descendant of head. Maybe that was an animation. Check sprite ancestor head index. In person, get the age head offset, get age body offset. Hat above everything. Head index, body index. Wait. Child index, possible ancestor index. Oh, is this one to ignore? If next parent equals ancestor index, then true. Oh, this is only a true false. This is looking for the child. Now, child is this object. Next parent in object sprite parent. Next parent is the in-child index. Not equal to possible ancestor. He's not passing possible ancestor in some of these, is he? Oh, okay, it's I. In object, sprite parent. Okay, so we've got a child. So the object is all the sprites. There's a list that says for this thing, its parent is blah. So I guess head is a... Oh no, it's also checking for not equal to parent. So it goes till no parent or it is this parent, and then if we stopped at parent, where it is. Okay, so that's not a third argument. It's just I wasn't seeing it because the eyes are very, very small. So that's used for offsets. In clothing not equal to null. A hat check. There's two offsets here. Maybe that's clothing and base. So I don't I think right now you cannot draw just the head. I think what Jason does in the gene score list is he like draws the entire character and then puts a stencil box around it so it doesn't actually draw everything else. And that one's actually not too bad. I guess it's draw animation that has the really epic argument list. Although he usually uses draw anim object. It'd be animation bank. Draw. Maybe it's not draw animation. Or maybe it's draw object anim. Yeah, this is where it gets a little hard to keep track of everything. So I think this might get you into clothing. Although the object may have had some clothing stuff. Hide closest limb. So yeah, in clothing, huh? Might be able to use that. But I would either need to do... So one of the ways we get around this problem is you just have extra little flags, which are a little dangerous because you've got this state hanging out there, and if you don't manage it properly. But I don't know that I want to mess with the signatures of functions that that other code is calling and that could have other changes to that signature because of other things that are going on. So for a patch-based system, those kind of things are easier to keep a little separate from the rest of the code. Also, I think there might be more than one draw object. I know there's a lot of signatures for draw animation. Yeah, so this is like a different signature. Looks like it's putting a 0 in for something. It says all that's... Well, no, there's some more stuff here. What's your draw behind slots? So that's handling it. I think that's for like containers where you've got like there's like a back plane and a front plane and the objects are shown in between. Maybe it comes into play with some vehicles too. So probably we'd want the one that doesn't have that specifier. Because then it calls this draw behind slot stuff. Watch what's exposed. In draw behind slots, no age modifier, only used by the object picker, not applied to clothing. No comment on that. And these are our only two signatures. Is this where we do, or maybe I did get anim. Heat, no, not heat value. The other stuff I've done is an animation bank, so maybe this isn't even used for characters. Although it's got the age setting in there. Yeah. So for my overlays and things, I've done this. Well, this is for when drawing regular characters. I don't need to affect regular character drawing. Draw object anim. Maybe this is just a different version. Yeah, there's a draw object. This almost does seem like a copy of it. All right, so what am I trying to do? I'm trying to draw only the head of a character. We have a smaller signature if it's just draw object. Oh, other thing I've done for the tool slots, we have drawn some little mini objects that may have gone down to raw sprites though. Yeah, I went down to raw sprites to do all of the special drawing effects I wanted. And I mean, I guess I could probably go into the sprites and just pull out head sprites. All right, can we even pick out the right display character? Maybe this. This is now the hierarchy graph. I only use this thing for this, but I do have an object. We've got an in speaker. We've got a position. It's probably the position that we're like coming from. So what would it take? That's a live object. Which I think is different than object ID, which gets into the object bank. That's packed. Object ID. Yeah, this is drawing IDs. What does draw object do? Object bank. Now you're taking an object record, so that's one difference. So if it was a character, it would probably be... Okay, using draw object ID. So that would probably deal with display IDs. We've already got the display ID, right? Oh, object record. Okay, so live objects have display IDs, which are object records. The speaker is a live object. Okay, so all the lines. What is the label position we want? and then the label draws a pointer. Oh, no, this is just the label. The pointer is actually separate. So this actually is the position we want. And maybe this should actually be a separate, just a separate thing from draw label. Okay, so we have a live object. We have, is it an object record? No, because it's an ID. Display object is get object of that. Let's remark that down here. And this is O. We want the other variant of this, I think. Is it just, it's not in pause, it's label pause, just to start with. And the litany. Rod is probably 0 in worn. Flip H we can probably get from the object. I'm going to ignore it for now. Actually, I'm probably always going to show this the same way. In age is going to be H? Hide closest limb. Maybe that's for like vehicles or something? It's an int. I'm going to assume 0 for no. Well, actually, we would hide all limbs, right? Because we're just looking for the head eventually. Held not in place yet. Oh, I need a clothing set. That's not a valid value. I'm just trying to at least get this sketched out and syntactically valid. Those sort of go together. You're also like container stuff. Oh, it doesn't use draw object anywhere in here. All right, how do we get a dummy clothing set? Get empty clothing set. Anybody alive? Nope. Well, it doesn't crash. Yeah, no limbs. That is kind of an accurate representation of the current age. You're probably being modified by other things in terms of... Oh, maybe at the draw time he's adjusting the baby cry effect there. So that positioning is like all wrong. I probably did I do the center of where the text would be? Or maybe or that actually adjust Oh, actually the draw position is where you're standing. Yeah, so it gets rid of the limbs okay, and I suppose you may use that doing the headshot stuff. I probably could get your actual clothing set. Contained is probably contained in itself. Yeah, empty clothing set, empty clothing set. In object clothing. Oh, clothing contained. Yeah, it might not be able to do clothing contained. I might need anim object for that. All right, closest limb, held position override. I mean, we really shouldn't be seeing that. Frozen arm. There's a time val. So interesting thing. Yeah, I might still be able to put stuff on a baby. Even though really only the head stuff is ultimately what we want here. I don't have any hats. Maybe I should spend my time fixing that bug. I mean, it's ultimately not important, but it's kind of annoying because I keep doing it. Oh. So draw object actually doesn't work for that. So I never actually tested this before. I don't think we're passing anything that's necessarily going to contain that, so it's actually being drawn twice. Yeah. So that's like adult position and current position. So if we wanted to do hats, we would have to do anim object. Alright, so this is interesting little experimental code, but I actually kind of want to fix that one bug now. Uh, Actually, it might not even be clicking. If it's an action key, I might want to go down there. Well, this is really going to be debugging. Can I just get an action log for that, maybe? So is this going into Vogue? And okay, it's not going into Vogue. Is it doing focus over here? No. Do we actually have to spawn something in? No. It must be with arrows. We have to kind of change focus and go out. Okay. It's the newest object. Oh. Well, we've actually got other stuff happening here. Okay, so maybe just turning keys off in Vogue mode would be a good step. Of course, this potentially affects the little things too. Interaction keys would be a good one, though. Interaction keys. So try interaction keys. That's just auto run. Well, really, it's the Vogue text box. Oh. Is any focused? So we've got the safe field, which is what most things checked. Try where are we doing this right now? Because we do ignore it when there's a say box up. Ah. So actually, I don't know where I put this one in, though. Might have been here. Ah, it was here. This is say field. What was that? Is any text field is any focused? So much code. Nope, you're a slightly different format. So that itself might help a little bit. Okay, well that triggered some stuff here, but that's Jason. Well, I guess I could try to fix it. All right, so we're not running around anymore. I guess we could use some more food. And you see what happens. I go out of here and I try to pick this up. Huh. Maybe that actually fixed it. Because it was actually something that was going on in the background that was breaking it. I didn't actually drop something at my feet, which is what I often do, and then go to pick that up. Huh? Yeah, maybe it was stuff that was happening in the background while I was setting that up. Well, I'm sure I'll run into it again if it's an issue. Okay, that's it. I think that does mean that, well, some of those keys actually do have to activate in fog mode. We wouldn't want fog mode. Well, they exclude the regular safe field. And I think that will cut off most of my key extensions. Because they go out of the switch in order to have set up configurable keys. Key actions in log text box. All right, and from there, all right, in order to include hats, I would have to, because like draw object is drawing things twice. I would have to switch to draw anim object. And then I would have to do an extension to draw anim object to only draw children of a certain sprite. I might, that's going to get really, really hairy. And we're just kind of on bonus stuff right now anyway, so I think I'm just not going to worry about that. I'm going to do one more build with this stuff for me to play with these fixes before publishing them. And then I'm just going to stop at a good reasonable time, have lunch, and hopefully get on to play some lives later. So thanks for watching. Let's see. What do we got to recommend today? That's what I'm usually on. All right, now it's don't see a whole lot of coding up front, so I guess we do the obvious thing. Go over to Rainey, who's actually playing, well, she's playing 2 life. I don't know what the particulars of what it is right now. I would guess she's back at her own seed. I haven't really haven't visited that yet. What's someplace cool to hang out? That's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye until next time.